nerding.
Hey, mamma mia.
Already starting out with the stereotype.
What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Taco Tuesday. You know what that means. You are now experiencing distance nerding. I am the young Phil, and I'm with Jen, the Fray girl. And guys, we're here
to nerd
together. She did it so much faster. We're talking anything pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Of course, YouTubers, all of you guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make the algorithm think that you like us, because it really helps us out. Listen on your favorite podcast app, leave us a review. And remember, guys, 5 stars helps us out. It really does. We gotta make them think that you guys like us. Of course, you can follow us on all the social media places: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, Blue Sky, Discord. Sorry, I was fixing something.
I was like, what?
All at Distance Nerding. And of course, you can email us at your favorite email of choice, email place, as long as you are emailing distancenerding@aol.com.
I got it last week. I don't need any additional explanation.
Oh, not gonna Jen explain how to do it.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Not this week.
well, it took the fun away. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled onto the worst kept secret on all of the internet, because everybody knows now, so it's not a secret anymore. You are now watching The Down. All right.
Yeah.
We are here. It is time. It's all the fun. Ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into this. This week on deck, we've got starting rumors.
That's gone. The web's unraveling, and the Avengers are hungry.
I am hungry. All right. And then, of course, the download.
We stirred the chaos, fed the hype, and we're reminded that originality is still endangered.
It is in danger. Swiper, no swiping. And of course, ending out the roundabout of everything, it is the Geek End update.
Get along, stop by, and we talk about Tri-Cities Powerhouse.
But of course, before we get into all of that fun stuff and everything that we're going to do as far as that goes,
It's shout out time.
I was going to say, we gotta shout everybody out. So,
but first,
let me get a shout out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the good folks over at Debbie. That's right. Debbie is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Debbie contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Debbie at www.debbie.gg. Use the code NERDING10, get 10% off your order. Typically, that right there is what I put in this mug.
Oh, look at that. Oh, is that a Geek Freaks mug?
Oh, yeah, it might be.
You got a Geek Freaks mug?
I do. Sipping the tea.
I don't even want to talk about it. Speaking of, we're part of Distance Nerding, us. We're a part of the Geek Freaks Network.
Yeah.
So whether you're deep in the lore or you're just discovering your latest binge, I'm trying to think what we binged. We binged something recently. I can't remember what it was.
I binged a couple things recently.
Yeah, I can't remember though. I'm sure I'll remember it. We just started watching What We Do in the Shadows. Just finished the orgy episode of season 1.
God.
Was like, oh, here we go. And Nadia, I love her. I love her.
I binged Eyes of Wakanda. It was amazing.
We finished Eyes of Wakanda as well. Yeah. I've been wanting to talk to you about it.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about that soon. It was amazing. I've been all over threads with it and just giving it nothing but praise. And then I binged up to the current episode of what is the show? Twisted Metal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you were watching that. I haven't watched any of that yet, but
Twisted Metal's it's great. It's so messed
yeah.
up.
I
Speaking of orgies,
finished
there's an orgy scene in the latest episode, and it's ridiculous.
and Gilded Age, finished Gilded Age, loved
Mm,
it.
mhm.
Mwah. Chef's kiss. Okay. Uh anyway, Geek Freaks is the network that speaks your language, podcasts that punch, ponder, and power up. Including these are actually I was gonna talk about these, but I actually want to talk about the new Geek Freaks podcast, like the headline show.
Mhm.
Not the headlines show, but the actual like
The interview show.
titular show.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the titular show. So it's got like different segments, and today's was I think it came out today. Yeah, it came out today. Was They talked about like they talked about all that stuff that we're going to talk about, so I'm not going to talk about that. But our interview, the interview with me and Shadu and Graveyard, is part of it. And I have to say this, Frank can do amazing things with editing because he made me sound a heck of a lot more intelligent than I was on that interview, let me tell you. I was like, he made me sound good. But no, and so
Frank's
that's
a
out
magician.
now.
Yeah.
He's a magician. He is. Get that man to wand.
Oh, wait,
So, but
wait.
You're a wizard, Harry.
There you go.
you're a wizard, Frankie.
You're
Um,
Frankie.
so yeah, that I wanted to mention that one because I think that's kind of cool. Kind of
All
cool.
right.
Anyway, and they've got like fandom portals, interviews and headlines, Anime Plus for all you anime fans out there. Whether you're building Lego, debating casting choices, or still crying over that finale, we've got you covered because we're the Geek Freaks Network.
Mhm.
Distance Nerding is part of the Geek Freaks Network, where your fandom, your community, and your favorite people. Find out more at gfpods.com.
All right. I'm doing the
I'm gonna put it in the
right.
chat.
I'm doing the work that Shidu's not allowed to do. All right, there you go.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is in the chat. So make your way over to GF Pods. Obviously not right now, but make your way over to GF Pods and check out everything on the network. It's all the content on the network is great. We're planning on having a couple of the hosts from other shows onto our show. So then that way, get some cross pollination. But it's also just because I love getting takes from other people. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they have some really fun takes on a lot of things. So
Yep.
I would love to get them in the mix of all of our stuff because I think we might blow their minds a little, but I think that they could equally blow ours. So I
yeah,
think it's a good
we have a
for that.
tendency to do that. We tend to blow people's minds as it is. So
We we do. Some of the stuff we say comes way out of left field,
yeah,
like in a different state out of left field.
yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Or
So
maybe out of country because we're gonna move on here. It's time to get banned in Belarus, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for
let's
starting
do
rumors.
it.
So let's get
Yeah.
banned in a country that we're not really worried about getting banned in.
1 foot in Russia, 1 foot out.
That's
Belarus.
right. Yeah. Getting down to Belarus. Get banned in Belarus.
Banned
Banned
in
in
Belarus.
Banned in
Banned in Belarus.
Banned in
Belarus. Banned in Belarus. Banned in
I can't wait to the end of the episode when we get that notification that says you have been banned in multiple countries, and then I open it up and it just says Belarus.
Belarus. You know, we love Belarus. We're just sad that they don't love us back. I can't believe it.
Sure.
After all we've done for Belarus.
Yeah, I absolutely love dictators. That's
I couldn't tell you where it is on a map.
it's close
or
to
a globe.
It's close to Russia, and it is they boast themselves as the country with well, I mean, it's not true anymore, but he called himself the last true dictator. The president.
Is it because he has a penis?
And he's a potato? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get into the rumors. Let's stop talking about a country that likes to ban us.
Yeah. So let's get into this first kind of story-ish here because it's some exciting stuff. Cryptic vibes, creepy woods, and demogorgons with daddy issues. Finn Wolfhard teases the Twin Peaks inspired spinoff while the final season kicks off with the craziest cold open we've ever done. Expect upside down weirdness, cryptic vibes, and possibly a demigorgon in a flannel. If this ends with 11 whispering fire walk with me, we'll send. Bonus points if Steve gets a dream sequence with a backward talking Dustin. It all sounds absolutely fucking bonkers. So, guys, and then when I say guys, I mean the
That
chat
means
too.
me.
I mean the chat too. Tacos on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Are we entering a cryptic era of Hawkins, or is the smoke with no upside down fire? Is
Yeah.
this smoke with no upside down fire? Sorry, yeah,
That was a little like I think I maybe overwrote that just a little,
it's okay.
just a tiny bit.
It's all right.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I had to go full on Twin Peaks for this
Yeah,
because you have to. When someone says there's a potential Twin Peaks spinoff, you gotta do it. All right. Well,
I
my
wonder if they make.
tacos.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they put it in the same universe.
Well, I would think that they would have to. I mean, Stranger Things, if you have a Twin Pe Oh, you mean like the Twin Peaks is that would be amazing.
Right? That
Sorry. That
Twin
I
Peaks
can't
and
believe I
Stranger
didn't
Things.
put those together sooner.
Yeah, that
Think I
Twin Peaks and Stranger Things. I mean, they take place in different time eras. So I mean, like,
Yeah, it's true. Maybe they are. What if we find out after all of this that Agent Cooper is either related to one of the kids or related to related to like a Winona Ryder's or even um David Harbour's character. Like maybe could be related like a distant cousin or something. That might be cool. That might be cool.
that'd be
Yeah.
interesting. Sorry,
I
I
can't
interrupted
believe
you
yeah.
while you're talking about your tacos here. So go ahead.
Well, I haven't watched I haven't watched Stranger Things since season 1
Really?
because I
It's
feel like I lived it. I lived a lot of it.
no, it
I'm
gets progressively just more, somewhat more unhinged, but like it just the story progresses well. It's really
mm,
good.
mm. I I didn't dislike it. It was just something that I was like, I I I lived through the era and I just feel like it's just not something I like to revisit. It's
Um,
not a revisiting type of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. Like after it's finished,
mhm.
I'll give it a try. But yeah, I don't know. Mm, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just gonna say sure. Let's put all the tacos. Let's put the demi gorgon meat tacos on the table.
Ooh, that would be disgusting. They'd be tough.
Fillet those puppies. Fillet
Oh
them.
man. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it being just kind of going into that direction, especially being that's the last season. It's that they did a time jump, and we're getting into the late '80s. They're like all. I think they're saying that they're all college students at this point.
Well, I mean, they were growing up faster than they were able to film.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
there was about 3 years in between one of the seasons, so they like
Yeah.
yeah they had to like jump in there. If you look at them like in the last season, they all look grown, and it's like okay, well, it's 3 seasons from when they filmed that, so they're all gonna look like adults.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of had to do it.
Yeah, Gaten Matarazzo has like a full beard now, so it's like, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, back then there were kids in high school that had full beards.
They're just
I
growing it
mean,
out.
I'm just saying that's but then like usually if you do shows like that and it's like the senior year or final year of high school, it can be a real dud. So you don't really want to do that. I kind of like that they're jumping because then you don't have the, oh, we all graduated. You just kind of get, oh yeah, we graduated. Now here's our life now. So I think that I like that because it's a different, it's like you go in at certain parts of their lives, which I always find a lot easier than, year by year by year. But that's neither here nor there. You know what we should do? We should go from Hawkins to hyperspace. Let's talk Jedi futures and galactic resets, shall we?
Oh yeah.
You
Oh.
gotta change the thing. There we go. So they know what we're talking about. Not everybody listens to us. They just look at the pictures. Lucasfilm's rumored post-Skywalker era centers on Rey's new Jedi Order with a Mandoverse style roll-up. If Grogu doesn't show up as a tiny battle-hardened Jedi general, we're sending a strongly worded hologram. Like that Mon Mothma one in Rebels. You know the one. All right. Give us High Republic aesthetics, Knights of the Old Republic lore drops, and a Jedi Council that actually reads the room. Tacos on the table. Are we genuinely excited about Rey leading a new Jedi Order? Or does this feel like Lucasfilm trying to retroactively fix the sequel trilogy? I mean, I guess they both could be true.
Yeah.
They're not. What's that? Where one would be true. They're not exclusive. That doesn't make sense. Never mind. You just go.
They're not
What do you think,
mutually
Bill?
exclusive. Yeah, no, so I don't have an issue with seeing more Rey. And she was essentially Luke Skywalker for a new generation. There are kids who love these movies as much as a lot of like our generation or generations before were not into these movies per se. Rey is a lot of kids, they grew up loving Rey as a character, and I would love to see
Yeah.
more development on her, and seeing, like, what she does to lead a new era of Jedi, especially because I mean, like, she kind of, like the way she brought herself up was more, like, in the gray area than light and dark, and
Yeah.
I wanna see that expanded on a little bit more.
Yeah. So I didn't have huge problems with the sequel trilogy.
Mhm,
Um, the only then the prequel trilogy had some good parts to me. Now, granted, I was a original trilogy girl,
mhm.
um, but I hmm, I'm excited about it. I want to see where they go with it. I feel like they put so much into the Skywalkers that now this like it's like the Skywalker legacy now. It's not none of the Skywalkers are really around anymore. It's just Rey and it's whatever, and how Rey is honoring them. And so I'd like to see what she does and how she interprets it. And if, what would be really cool is if she isn't like, you get the Luke Skywalker coming back as a Force ghost and going, "Yeah, no, this is not a Skywalker thing. Why are you doing it like this?" And that kind of give and take occasionally with her and Luke because they established that. I would love to see something like that.
So
So I do think that they are trying to fix it, but I think that Dave Filoni did that for the prequel trilogy for people. And the people that are not OG trilogy fans, but the prequel trilogy fans, they're the ones that seem to have hate the sequel trilogy the most. And it's like, oh, you guys are where we were with the prequel trilogy. And so I just find it very cute. So I find it
so
adorable actually. So
so something crazy that popped up the other day. So someone was talking about how in the novelization of The Force Awakens,
mhm,
they talk about how so Snoke was not a clone of Palpatine.
mhm.
Snoke was a clone that was made from Luke's severed hand.
Oh. Oh, that's
Yeah.
kinda neat.
Right? Now, here's the other thing,
Yeah.
is that the clone of Palpatine that was his son
Yeah.
was also a clone of Luke's hand.
So she is technically
So
part Skywalker.
that's what they were saying, is that this is how tangentially they didn't explain in the movies, it was in the novelizations, but, like, tangentially, she is technically a Skywalker because she is the daughter of a clone of Luke Skywalker's hand.
Mm. This
So
is what happens when you get into cloning.
yeah, and it's like it's crazy stuff, right? Again, it's always Palpatine trying to mess with cloning in order to get a stronger version of what he's trying to get. So like that's what General Grievous was. General Grievous was him trying to take midichlorians from Cypher Dyas, infuse them in a being that wasn't force sensitive, that was a warrior but wasn't force sensitive, and add in cybernetics to try and enhance him. And that's why Grievous was the experiment that led to Vader.
Oh. Huh.
Oh yeah, that's established canon. Is Grievous was the experiment that Palpatine was trying to create that led to, oh, I've got this half body of Anakin Skywalker, and I want to make these, robot force user hybrids that I can basically wield more power over, right? Vader was the culmination of what he was trying to create.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
so
yeah.
yeah, and so the same thing, he was trying to do force experiments with Luke's hand to create strong clones of, "Oh, well, Luke Skywalker, his son is stronger than the father. So how
Yeah.
do I get a version of, how do I do this?" But where 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 Sheev's problem is that he's trying to clone a hand that doesn't have all the midichlorians that Luke has.
Yeah. It's just got the hand
It's
metachlorians. It
got
doesn't
the
have the
hand.
rest of them.
Exactly, it's a hand
It's
model.
just the
So,
hand.
yeah,
It's
so
literally the pinky.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, my tacos on the table. I am excited to see this. I want to see them kind of like go more into that lore and explain more of that, because then you have all these people who are pissed off that are like, well, she was never a Skywalker. Well, technically she is.
Yeah. Yeah.
With technicalities, she technically is a Skywalker, and people were probably going to hate that, but it is what it is.
Well, they're gonna hate whatever. It doesn't matter what what people do. People are gonna hate something. It
Right,
it seems like that's the new thing, but not us, because we don't do that. We don't hate on things. We might complain, but we don't hate.
right, right, right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. Drop the lightsabers because we're going to drop them now and pick up a crowbar because Gotham is calling. Zach Krager's rumored DCU debut, Henchman, follows a low-level Gotham goon who accidentally
You
takes
lost your
down
place.
Batman. I did. Who accidentally takes down Batman and becomes a criminal legend. It's giving Joker meets Home Alone with a splash of "Oops, I'm iconic." If this guy ends up with a nickname like the Bat Tripper, or he needs a nickname like the Bat Tripper, or we're gonna riot. So bonus points if Calendar Man shows up just to complain.
Bonus points of count. Yeah.
Yeah, tacos on the table. Didn't they do this already? Wasn't this the man who killed Batman? Remember Sid the Squid accidentally taking out the bat and becoming Gotham's most wanted? Or yeah, is that what they're doing right here? If I'm hoping Zach Krager's henchman is just kind of rifling that idea around. Are we into that?
Or riffing it. He's
Yeah.
riffing it. He's
Are,
riffing on it. Yeah.
are we into that? Do we think that would be like a cool idea? Like, oh, hey, we're just going to do the man who killed the bat.
I loved that episode. I think that's probably one of my favorite episodes of the Batman the Animated Series.
Mhm.
I really love that because, like, the way that Sid is like, "But I didn't mean to. I didn't do it on purpose." And then, like, he's just like, and then, like, he gets bigger and bigger, and he's just like, "Oh my god." And then he meets Batman again at the end, and Batman's like, "You didn't take me out. What the hell?" And he's like, "Oh, thank goodness. Can you please just lock me in Arkham Asylum?" Oh my god, it's a great episode.
Just lock
Uh,
me away. I'm a detriment to society.
yeah, he is just like I felt like he needed like a panic attack medicine because he was having it. So if they want to do that, I mean, basically it's a fanfic at this point because I think he just wrote it, and I don't even think James Gunn has read it yet. So I think it's up James Gunn's alley. So I'm gonna put my tacos on the table for it, even though it really is kind of a rehash of the man who killed Batman. Uh, it's still a compelling story, and I think they have a lot of places to go there. I don't know when it'll be done though, because they haven't even cast Batman yet. So I'm
Yeah,
into it,
the script. So
but I'm calling it what it is.
okay.
You didn't expect me to be done, did you?
No, no, no. It's like I'm calling it what it is.
I don't need to say it. Everybody knows. It's a
Uh,
rehash.
all right. Well, let's go ahead and move on here. We got next story coming up.
Did you put your tacos on the table?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right. From bat blunders to bug suits, we're swinging into Marvel's messiest neighborhood. Frank Castle might be leading the hand, Scorpion suiting up comic style, and Michael Mando's teasing a Venom twist. If
Interesting.
Brand New Day delivers on all of this, it's less friendly neighborhood and more violent vigilante multiverse. We're talking Shadowland vibes, Ultimate Spider Man chaos, and maybe a nod to Gargan's savage symbiote run from the Dark Avengers era.
Ooh, that would be.
Tacos on the table. Is this the darkest Spidey movie yet? Or Marvel throwing every street level villain at the wall to see who sticks?
I'm hoping. I mean, like, if we're gonna get a comic book accurate Matt Gargan, it's gonna be so weird to watch him walking around with this giant scorpion tail. You know?
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be so weird, but at the same time, like, we've gotten a comic book accurate version of Lizard, so it's not far-fetched to see them do something with Matt Gargan like that. Um, Venom, I'm hit or miss. It's they need to do him right because we have not gotten I mean, they got close with the last iteration, but it also didn't have anything to do with, like, Venom's origin and anything like that. So, like, it was a cool take on a new version of Venom, but it wasn't Venom, and that's kind of, like,
Yeah.
what I want, like, I want more of that. I would love to see Savage symbiote, with Matt Gargan, um, and just with all those different I mean, there's so many different characters that we're supposed to be getting. Punisher, it's gonna be interesting to see that because, I mean, I think what they're saying, from what I understand, it's supposed to be Punisher is hunting Matt Gargan, and Spider-Man stops him from killing him.
Yeah. 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 I hear that. And then there's also like there were rumors about ninjas. And it was like, who, what? What group has ninjas? Oh, that's the hand. Oh, maybe we're gonna get, yeah, it's like maybe we're gonna get Punisher leads the hand. I mean, he did in the comics, so it's not like,
But
but then
they haven't
how
done
do they
that in the
do
TV on the show yet. I mean, there's a
yeah,
possibility because he talks about recruiting an army at the end of the season. Spoilers for people who haven't watched the show that's been out for how many months now? But I mean,
it's
like,
been a while. It's been
yeah,
a while. You all should have watched it by now.
right. But the thing is like, okay, so if we're going that route, and I feel like the teaser when he said he needs to get an army was that they're bringing the Defenders back, especially now that we know that Jessica Jones
Yeah.
is coming back. Like, I think that's more of a Defenders thing. But if it's him recruiting the Hand, and in season 2 it's him leading the Hand, that would be something interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna wait until it's like he's gonna get the defenders first, and
Mhm,
then they have that like half season cliffhanger thing that they like to do now, like the halfway through, it's like something is a twist and then it moves on. That the hand comes in towards the back end of the season,
mhm.
and he has to decide which evil he wants to work with to to overcome the other evil. Does he want to work with the hand, or does he want to work with Fisk to get rid of the hand, like that. And so
Right.
I think that's interesting. If they do have Punisher with the hand in this, the Punisher could bring the hand into the second season, and then that's how the hand comes into it, and that's when Matt has his, because he hasn't had any kind of existential crisis for what, 2 episodes or something? I don't know. It's time for him to have another one, obviously. So I think
I
that
mean, that
either
whole
way, I
season,
like it.
that whole first
I
season was Matt having an existential crisis.
I know, I was being sarcastic. It's meant to be that he's always having one.
Right, right,
Always. I
right.
mean, like, that 2nd season, he's in that freaking church, and, like, for the whole freaking season, basically, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, can you please get out of the Catholicism for a minute?"
That's
I
never
mean,
gonna happen. It's so embedded in
I
his
know,
character, like, you're never gonna have him get out of
but I
that
don't need
mode.
to have a church. I don't need him to be in a church every episode. I'm like, "Dude, come on." I liked how they handled it in season 4. I mean, season 1 of Daredevil Born Again.
I was gonna
Where he
say
goes to the
season 3.
church, but it's not, he doesn't go in. It's kinda like, "Hey, I'm remembering this,
Yeah,
but, we're
season
not talking
3
about it as much."
season 3 was, like, the same thing, like, towards the end,
Yeah,
he finds out that his mom is a
yeah.
nun, and she's in the nunnery, and that becomes, like, more of, like, oh, yeah, more Catholic overtones and everything, 'cause you're never gonna get away with that with his character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, but
That's
I'm just saying that,
so
and,
embedded.
here's go ahead.
No, I was saying it's so embedded in Matt in the way that his Catholic upbringing is what makes him the way he is.
No, I know. I was joking. That really honestly was a joke because I love how he is. If he didn't have his Catholic guilt, he would not be the Daredevil that we know, but
Absolutely.
he would. No, what I was gonna say is the most shocking thing about his mom being a nun is that she was also married for a time to Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. So well. Too bad. So sad. What's next?
Let's go ahead and move on here.
I don't think we put any tacos on any table with that one, but I don't care. It was fantastic.
Oh, well, what were we talking here? Said, yes, I think this is going to be dark as all hell. Because
Yeah,
again,
I think it's gonna be super dark.
the way that they're describing the way that the Punisher is going to be in this, and that every description has been that it's going to be Peter trying to stop Punisher from killing somebody. It's like this is gonna
Yeah.
get dark. This is gonna get really dark.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for us, but not for Peter.
Yeah, because you're trying to stop a madman like Frank Castle. It's like no, Matt couldn't
I
do it.
don't
You
know.
really think he's gonna do it?
Maybe Peter's, like, positive optimism is gonna have an impact. I can't even finish that sentence.
Yeah,
He's
or his
gonna, like,
single's gonna get his ass
Frank's
beat.
gonna Frank's gonna corrupt Peter, and that might get us to where Peter is ready for the Venom symbiote. Just FYI, that's something that I just came up with. You know what? Let's move on because we're
Yeah,
still talking about symbiotes.
yeah. Let's go.
It's you.
Oh, that's me. Oh, that is me. Speaking of symbiotes with attitude, because they're Rangers. Joke. Get it? No.
Uh-huh.
It was a
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
Sony's cooking up animated R-rated Venom and Spider-Woman spin-offs, riding the Spider-Punk wave. Seth Rogen's reportedly involved, so expect symbiotes with sass, chaos, and possibly a bong. If this leans into Maximum Carnage territory with the heavy metal animation style, we're in for a glorious mess. Fingers crossed for a Spider-Ham cameo that's somehow even darker. Because if you've ever read a Spider-Ham thing, he eats bacon. It's weird. Tacos on the table. Are we in for a glorious mess or a genre-defining swing?
Look, if Army Hammer can, like,
We're going to talk about Army Hammer and his cannibalism allegations.
if he can do that and still make movies, in Hollywood, then why can't Spider Ham have a little bacon? Bacon is much more delicious, y'all. Not that I've ever had long pig, but just sorry. That went so wrong so quickly, and it was all my fault, and I really appreciate y'all going on that journey with me. I think it's gonna be a glorious mess. I can't wait. I cannot wait for Spider-Woman to do all of the weird poses and, everybody get really upset that her butt looks as big as it does.
You think we're getting Jessica Drew?
I hope so. I hope it gets I have been waiting for Jessica Drew for I don't know how long. I want her out. I want them to find out she's a Skrull. I want her to have her redemption arc. And I'm sorry, I just love playing her in all of the Avengers video games that she's in. I love playing her. I love it. She's like my favorite character. So bring me Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
Bring me the head of Jessica Drew.
Give me the head of Jessica Drew. I've been saying I want to see Jessica Drew. I also want to see Ben. I want to see Ben Riley.
Yeah.
Like, really
Yeah.
bad. I mean, we got him in Spider-Verse, but I would love
Mhm.
to see like a full-on Ben Riley and just Peter freaking out that there's a clone of him somewhere.
Yeah. And Peter would freak out about that. I mean, especially I would love to see Tom Holland's like Spider-Man's reaction, like his. Tobey Maguire would be way too cool about it. Andrew Garfield would be like cloning. Oh, scientifically, that's an interesting study, and he would like totally like egghead it. But
This
Tom
is like the
Holland's
eraser.
Peter, yeah, he would be like, "You did what? How did you get my DNA? What is going on? Aunt May? Oh no, she's dead. Did you get my DNA from Aunt May after she died? What the?" I mean, he would full panic mode, and I want it.
This is like that old movie, The Eraser. He would just piss off all the millennials in there. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
I knew you were watching me. Okay. Now let's raise the stakes and the undead. Oh wait, did you want to say?
I said enough. I already said that. You know, I mean, Jessica Drew would be great. I would. I said this last week, and it's like, or maybe like 2 weeks ago. I'm just interested in seeing what Seth Rogen's going to do with this. And
Yeah.
if he does something, if they go Maximum Carnage, I am going to lose my shit because I I want them to go full comic book Maximum Carnage. I want to see Hobgoblin. I want to see Doppelganger. I want to see Shriek. I want to see all the characters that riddle that series of books. And I want the iconic. If you read that book series, I want that iconic Venom hanging from the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just beat the crap out of him and he tied him up and hung him from the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So like
that would be amazing.
yeah, because I want to see that. I want to see an unhinged monstrous Carnage. I want to see the Carnage that he believes in chaos theory and believes that the only way for order to exist is for chaos to exist. And he's an agent of chaos. He creates disorder so that there can be order. And he just has this
Mm.
weird, unhinged look at society and how things should work.
Yeah, I know. He's kind of like Lex.
God, he's Lex if Lex were in the body of a serial killer. I mean, Lex kind of is in an extent, but he's not like an implicit serial killer the way that Cletus Cassidy is.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, because Cletus Cassidy is a sociopath to the nth degree.
That's true. Oh, well, we're not going to figure this out tonight. So now let's raise the stakes and the undead.
Oh yeah.
Thor, Black Panther, and Namor join the undead roster in Marvel's TVMA zombie series, led by Scarlet Witch as the Dead Queen. It's the Avengers, but they're hungry and not for justice. I think it's brains. I'm pretty sure it's brains. If they pull from the Marvel Zombies 3 arc, we might get Machine Man slicing through undead Cap with zero chill. Also, Zombie Thor better still be worthy just to make it weird. Tacos on the table. Is this Marvel's goriest swing yet? Or just a Halloween special with extra teeth?
I I'm excited for this just because it's something different, and it's a take that, the comic run was really just weird and out of left field. But I enjoyed it. I mean, maybe it's because Deadpool had such a big role in it too, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
there's like the almost like famous thing of Deadpool being walked around like the zombies from The Walking Dead, but he's like sitting there annoying people.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not a fan of zombies. I'm not a horror fan. I'm not. It's weird because every time I say that, then I'm like, well, I have watched all of these. I've watched all the Conjuring series.
Mhm.
And I'm still not a fan of horror, guys. Still not. I just watch a lot of stuff. Really, that's it. But I it's an interesting idea. I agree with you on that. I do think it's a big swing. But if we look back at the animated stuff that the MCU has done up to this point, they're all big swings. So, like the Eyes of Wakanda or What If? Like What If was so cool, and we knew going into it, "Oh, hey, this isn't gonna impact anything in 616, so we can just enjoy this." We don't have to like, "Oh, what did you see? Did you see an Easter egg? Oh my god, does this mean this is happening? Is this happening?" Da, 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 because we knew it wasn't going to. These were other universes.
Mhm.
So I think but what it did do is it primed us or prepped us for the multiverse saga. So I'm wondering if Marvel Zombies is preparing us because they did it a little in Doctor Strange Mom, but I'm wondering if it isn't priming us for the more horror aspects because we got Man Thing now, we got Werewolf by Night. We're getting more into the horror aspects. Blade supposedly is coming. I don't know. We keep hearing about it, but I have no idea. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, even the Black Knight is very mystical and part of that horror thing. Ghost Rider's been talked about, horror, mysticism. I think this could be just priming us for that, getting us ready for, oh, hey, guess what? There's going to be zombies. We're going to have vampires. There's a werewolf, you know, rah, rah. Monsters are cool now. So I think that's where they're going. And I like it. So
Yeah. Now my tacos are on the table just because I really think that they are going to go full swing in this. They are going full gore. They are going full horror because I think they've been leading to it for a while, and I think that this is their horror light. Being that they can get away with a lot more in animation than they can with live action, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
know that they can.
yeah.
So I feel like they are trying to see how far can they get like go down the road before they start bringing in actual horror characters.
Right, yeah. And I like Eyes of Wakanda being more historical, like, and anthology-wise, like, it has that really thin thread through it because it's all war dogs, spoiler alert. But it's the same way. It doesn't really impact anything going forward.
Mhm.
What it shows is what happened to make sure that that what happened in Wakanda happened. That's really it. But other than that, like, cute little, like, nod, there's not anything else in there that you're like, "Oh, well, you know, has a big impact on the story going forward." It really doesn't. So, I do feel like the animation isn't to move the story forward, but I think it is to prepare us for things. And so I feel like all of that, like, that's how they're using the animation, and I have to say it's pretty clever.
Mhm.
So I guess I can tip my imaginary hat. Oh wait, I have a hat. Hold on. I'm putting the hat on over my thing. I tip my hat to you, Brad Winderbaum.
Nice. Nice. I dig it. Well, that is
Thanks.
it for that is it for the rumors, guys. So let's jump into the next portion here, guys. We got some news to talk about. So let's jump into all of that. It's time for the download. Well, of course,
For
for
more
all
news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post. Let us know what you're nerding out on. I got to it before you. Ha.
you definitely did, because we were starting to go at the same time. Well, this is casting cash. Our hearts are quickening this week with all of the casting.
She'll
Take it
like
away.
that. The quickening. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I did like the
Right.
quickening.
First up, Dave Bautista swinging for 2 cult classic at once. He's set to clash swords with Henry Cavill as the Kurgan in Highlander. Then trade blades for fists in Roadhouse 2, teaming with Jake Gyllenhaal under Nobody's Ilya Naishuller. Immortal Rage and Barroom Brawls, Batista's got range. I
Yeah,
actually like it. And I actually really like this picture because it kind of shows very like a similar comfortableness with their bodies. Like, you know, how Clancy Brown is really, he looks like he's really sitting in that armor, and how Dave Bautista is just sitting in his body. It's very similar. I like it. I'm sorry for those of you who haven't watched the YouTube one, but the picture is amazing.
I imagine, like, I can imagine what Dave Bautista is going to look like, because they're going to update that armor. It's going to look
Oh, yeah.
a lot more formidable. Not that Clancy Brown's armor wasn't formidable, but I mean, like, it it was an 80s movie, and a lot of times, like, the
Mhm.
armor seems a little clunky.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be more like leather on leather and maybe a little like things cut out a little more. I mean, he's what the Kurgan's supposed to be what? Blah, blah, Carpathian.
Yeah.
So then that would be more leather to me. So I'm wondering if they're gonna not do the metal, like the metal as much, and it might be a little bit more leather, and he's gonna have a really cool like very big headdress type thing. But I think he's so good. He can be really terrifying when he wants to be. And
Yeah.
I think that that's why he got the role. I mean, I think he can do it.
There's something
So,
about his subtleness and kind of like the way that he can he can he can play, kind of like Quiet Storm really well.
yeah, yeah. But then
He
he can also like when Drax, remember when Drax would like get into his, I'm so sorry. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go
I'll
ahead.
say it after. No, I
I was done.
apologize. I
I
cut
w
you off.
I
Okay.
was done. You're
All
good.
right. So when Drax got like would get into those rages, like when he was going after Thanos and stuff, and you couldn't stop him, I mean, granted, he was green and red, so he wasn't as terrifying as he could be,
Mhm.
but he was terrifying. He was like, you were like, "Oh, you gotta stop him. He's gonna kill someone. Dude's gonna kill someone." And and that's what you need for the Kurgan. And not everybody knows the Kurgan, and not everybody knows Highlander. And I have to say this, I'm very disappointed in all of you. If you have never seen Highlander and you know who hasn't, should do.
Should
I'm
do
gonna have to
have
get him to
him
watch it.
watching.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in him now. Have to have him watch it because it is such an interesting movie.
Mhm.
The concept was so interesting. We really never had that before. So I just think it's cool and I'm glad they're rebooting it. And I think Henry Cavill's going to be great. And I think Dave Bautista's going to be great. And that's all I have to say about that.
All right.
Oh, wait. So there's more. Uh, I have another one. From brute force to existential dread. Sebastian Stan is going full duality in Radu Jude's Frankenstein in Romania. He'll play both Victor Frankenstein and the Creature in a story that blends gothic horror with CIA prison history. It's bold, bizarre, and maybe Stan's most daring role yet.
That's
I think
interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like I want to say when I first read about this, and that's why I put this in here because I had something else here. Uh, but I liked it, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. It's like Winter Soldier smashed with Frankenstein
That's gonna
because
be
it's got
that's
that
gonna be an interesting story.
government. Yeah, got that government government prison history. Well, Winter Soldier was in on ice, literally in Siberia. So I just feel like it would be a good role for him. And I think it would be something interesting for him to play in a side we may not have seen in a while.
Yeah, I didn't know somebody else was making a Frankenstein movie because I mean, Guillermo del Toro is literally working on one right now.
Yeah. I I we go through these cycles. You remember it was Dracula back, 20 years ago. Everybody was into vampires and now it's Frankenstein's turn. Next it'll be the mummy again. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a creature of the Black Lagoon out of this at some point.
We should. Closest
We
thing we got.
definitely should.
Closest thing we got was Guillermo del Toro.
It's true. Just give it to Del Toro. Just give it to him. Just give
Yeah,
it to him. All right. So next, a long rumored arrival finally lands. Matt Smith is officially joining the Star Wars galaxy. He'll play a cold-blooded military general in Starfighter, a standalone film set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. No force powers, just tactical menace. Smith's bringing brains and brutality to a cast that includes Ryan Gosling and Mia Goth. I really want to see Ryan Gosling and Matt Smith like in a scene together where they're on opposite sides. I just think that is going to be spectacular.
I'm curious about that chemistry and just kind of how well they work on screen.
And then I'm also like, well, so how does Mia Goth fit into this? Is she really a villain? Is she like a go between the villain and the hero? It really brings a little bit more depth to it. I'm glad they're putting him in there because I know originally wasn't he supposed to play like a clone of Palpatine or something?
I think he was, yeah.
In Rise? Yeah, something like that. So I'm glad he's getting his Star Wars. I almost said Star Trek. Woo. Star Wars cherry popped. So, and closing out with the fiery anime upgrade.
I'm excited about this one.
I have never seen any of this in my life, so
So
you'll have
good.
to do most of the talking.
It's so
Channing
good.
Tatum is it okay? Channing Tatum and Rebecca Wang are stepping into the Demon Slayer dub. Tatum voices Keizo, a martial arts master from Akaza's tragic past, while Wang plays his daughter Koyuki. The final arc kicks off in theaters September 12th, and the emotional damage is incoming.
It absolutely is. There is so much emotion, but like the action in this show is it's just it's like all determination. It is all the main character, Tanjiro, who's the one that's on screen right now. Uh
Hmm.
Tanjiro Kamado, his like superpower, I guess, because it's not like they don't really have superpowers, kind of, but like his superpower is that he just doesn't give up. Like his whole thing is there was like an entire fight sequence that happens where they break like almost every bone in his body and he keeps getting up.
I like Novocaine.
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, like he's in pain. He's in like agonizing pain. And he's
Oh,
just like,
okay.
I can't give up. Like he's just like, because his whole thing is if I give up, everyone dies. You
I
know?
mean, that's some like major hero's journey kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very obvious the way that they're kind of going, what we're 4 seasons in. So like the way that they're going with all of this is that he's some kind of chosen one, but they haven't like explained what the chosen one would be if there was one.
Ah, okay. All right.
You know?
So less Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Yeah, they keep because you can see the scar on his forehead.
more Wheel of Time.
Yeah, you can see the scar on his forehead. They reference these scars and kind of like what they are every now and then, but like almost nobody knows like what it is. They know that there's significance to it, but they don't know what it actually means.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
so Say Long has some stuff to say because he's got stuff to say. So let's
Especially when it
look
comes to
at let's
anime.
look at his first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the reaction is shock.
Yeah, no, and a lot of it is that he's just in pure shock when he's in all this pain because he's just moving himself along.
And then he says, "Why is he doing this? It's beneath him, etc." So I think he's just commenting on stuff that you were saying. So, which I think is great. Say
Yeah,
Long, I kind of did this for you because I know you really like
yeah.
animes.
But I'm a big fan of Demon Slayer. And I love that the last season, rather than doing the last season as a show, I believe they're doing a series of like 2 movies.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that it says it kicks off in theater September 12th. So, I mean, and that's right there. It's next month.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
So
But
I'm
um,
very excited for this, very interested. I want to see where the next chapter goes. I want to know if he kills Kibutsuji, or if he if like, in the end, at the end of the story, he doesn't succeed and Kibutsuji
yeah.
wins and it continues on. Like, I'm interested in these stories where you have this entire hero's journey, but then it ends in tragedy.
I mean, but I mean, that's like that is Asian cultures. Like it doesn't always end pretty.
Right.
Like that's a totally like uh Western culture thing. Eastern cultures are like, no, no, this is meant to give you pause and make you think about stuff and not do crazy things. So I get it. But yeah, no, I love it. But I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Do you think Dave and Matt would wear our merch? Because we got merch, people.
We got merch, people. Yeah, that's right. We got merch. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Too soon. I got you
Damn
again.
it. Why do you have to do that to me? Why? Every time.
It amuses me.
Every week you do this to me, and it's
I'm amused. Oh, I got like what Nadja would say. Oh, sarcasm. Oh, I enjoy.
okay.
I
Oh,
enjoyed that. Oh, you said, oh, baby vampire. You shut up, baby vampire.
oh, Jesus. All
Love
right,
that.
let's. Oh man, let's move on. And just throwing this out there, that in on the game streams on Twitch, when I do the game streams, we have what's his name? It's one of the main vampires.
Like, there's so many vampires, not Dracula.
No, no, in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, Laszlo?
Laszlo. We
Is it
have
Matt
Laszlo.
Berry? Yeah.
Yeah, we have Laszlo's voice on there, so you can make Laszlo
Oh,
say,
that's hilarious.
yeah.
I love Matt Berry. I've liked him since IT Crowd. Although apparently he was in something else that Chuck really likes that I do not like at all. It's bad. And it's got Richard Ayoade in it. I can't remember what it's called though. But it's not good. Ugh. Anyway, uh
Yeah,
let's move on. Let's
go ahead
go to
and,
quick bites. You want me to do this one?
yeah.
I actually did watch this back.
Oh, I know TJ Hooker. Come on now.
Okay. We're kicking things off with a reboot no one saw coming and a sidekick William Shatner can't do. Netflix is reviving TJ Hooker, yes, the William Shatner cop show, as an action comedy movie. Expect retro vibes, iconic mustaches, and probably a few meta jokes about 80s TV tropes. Oh, we hope. If this ends with a slow mo car slide and a lens flare, we'll know J.J. Abrams consulted.
Man, it's one of those things where I don't know if we needed this, but at the same time, we probably need this.
When I told Husby about it, he said, "No, no, 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 no. Why? Why are they doing?" That is exactly what he said. We were on the phone and I told him about it. And he was like,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. Why are they doing this?
TJ Hooker, the originator of the car slide.
It's just, oh man,
This is the
man.
man who originated the car slide, which I forgot what movie it was, but they one of the characters in the movie goes, "Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do this," and he goes to go do a car slide, and his gun holster scratches the paint on the car, and he was like, "That's why we don't do car slides because that happens."
Right. And there's been some like parodies of it where they're like, oh, I'm gonna do the card slide. And then they try to, and then it just goes like the whole and it's just like, okay. But the TJ Hooker, that's who you have to thank for that.
Right,
TJ Hooker. Adrian Zamed was in that from Grease too, y'all.
right. Let's continue on here. From throwback patrol cars to modern movie theaters. AMC Theaters is responding to studio complaints and audience fatigue by shortening its pre-show ad block. Studios reportedly pushed back on trailers being buried under 20 minutes of promos. Finally, an answer to the age-old question: how many Nicole Kidman monologues does it take to start a fucking movie? This
You know, they shortened it.
yeah, this annoyed the living crap out of me because it was just kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna like when I went to go see Superman, right? There was 45 minutes of ads, and it's like, I get it. You guys want to get paid back for all this money that you're not getting anymore. It's you're Netflixing the theater, but it really,
Yeah.
really pissed me off. That is like that's just a waste of my time. Play your
Yeah.
ads before when everybody's getting in the theater. You know how like all the theaters now will do their whole movie or newbie and they do their little trivia and all that. Play your ads at that time and then give me trailers at the time the movie is supposed to start and then go to the
Mhm.
movie. I don't want all your thousands of ads and now I have to wait 45 minutes for this movie to start. That's just wasting my time. So I'm happy that they're shortening it. I'm sure they got enough complaints, not just from the studios, but from everybody in the theater getting pissed off about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they were going to have more ads. Like, that was the thing. I got it because 'cause I'm part of, like, the AMC, like, Premiere whatever, Stubs member or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I get emails and stuff, and it's like, "Hey, we're gonna add more ads, so we're just telling you, like, if you don't wanna see those, just come, like, at this time, and then you'll have that." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no." And you heard about my Fantastic Four, epic journey. So I saw ads. We were there before the movie and we saw ads and then we didn't get to see the movie. Waited a couple hours to see and to see it at a different on a different theater, like a different, screen, and then saw the ads again and then got to see the movie. So I was like, wow, I've seen a lot of ads today. So I am very happy that they're doing this.
Yeah.
But no, I love AMC. They did us so right with all the Fantastic Four issues,
Mhm.
and, we got to see the movie, we got free passes, and they refunded us the money, so I was like, "You guys rock. I love you." I didn't kiss him in the mouth, but, I probably would have at some point. I was pretty crazy and sugared up at that point.
Oh man. Lucky you. Let's go ahead and move on here.
Let's head to the streaming graveyard. Oh, I should say that a little bit. Or oh, I shouldn't be happy about this. Disney Plus has canceled Goosebumps after 2 seasons. Despite solid viewership and nostalgic appeal, the show didn't make the cut for Disney's evolving streaming strategy. Somewhere, Slappy the Dummy is plotting revenge in a dimly lit attic.
What's Disney's
I'm
strategy? I don't understand what their strategy is supposed to be because it's like, hey, we're going to take a popular property, we're going to
Mhm.
reboot it, we're going to do it in a way that is both critically and by the viewership is enjoyed,
Mm.
and then you cancel it because it's not part of your stream. What is your streaming strategy? I don't get it. Is it just Marvel and Star Wars and your in-house Disney stuff? Like, I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I know we're gonna talk about this more in our long discussion because I know that there's some Disney stuff in that. So
Mhm.
I know we'll get into it more. I'm not sure they have a strategy. I don't know that anyone does. I think their strategy is to make money. And they're like, we gave this time. We don't want to give money to this anymore. We want to give money to something else. And I feel like that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
Sounds like
I,
an
I'm
decision.
yeah, it's a we want now, not long-term plans, but whatever. All
Yeah.
right. So let's move to the next drama.
We're gonna get into some controversy here, because speaking of Disney drama, Gina Carano has reached a settlement with Disney over her firing from The Mandalorian. The deal reportedly includes future job offers on the table, and Carano has broken her silence, calling the resolution a step toward healing. Cara Dune's return. Stranger things have happened. Just ask Darth Maul's torso. I don't know why I couldn't say torso correctly there. Uh
It's still painful for you. I understand.
the torso and that he lost against Padme, yes. Very
Yeah, yeah,
painful.
yeah. I know.
No. This this whole thing, I don't know how to feel about this because it's kind of like, okay, cool. You you got fired because of your mouth. You got fired because of the things that you were saying. And then you got mad because it was like my freedom of speech. No, you didn't go to jail, so your freedom of speech was not being infringed in any way.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not how freedom of speech works, Gina. I know I'm a nobody and you're a giant star, but I mean that is not how freedom of speech works. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Okay, if you worked at McDonald's and you started preaching about how my people are experiencing a Holocaust and because of your political views, no, you would get fired because you can't talk about that stuff. It's inappropriate to talk about that stuff. Disney had a right to fire you because you kept opening your mouth and saying dumb things. Okay? They have a right as an organization to fire someone that works for them if you continuously continue to do things. I get so many people thought that that was the only reason she got fired, and it wasn't. She kept doing it, and they kept telling her to stop or we're going to let you go. It was to the point that Pedro Pascal had to tell her, dude, stop. And she kept doing it. And it
Yep.
was the Holocaust comments that were the last straw. And we're like, dude, you can't work for us anymore. Right. But now everybody's capitulating. We're going to go back to that word that James didn't understand. All these different corporations are capitulating because they want to kiss the ring. And hey, how's a way to show good faith that we're on your side? Let's make a settlement with Gina Carano. She can and we'll guarantee her jobs in the future. Right. That's to me, it's like if you hire her because she's the right fit, that's one thing, right? But if
Mhm.
you fired her because she doesn't fit, kind of like she doesn't fit with what your company image is, and you're like, you know what, you need to clean up your act. And I'm sure they probably put that in there. It was like, we'll give you job offers as long as you keep it clean. You just shut your mouth and don't, you know,
Yeah.
talk about these kind of things, right? It's like, cool, have your positions. There are plenty of actors who hold unpopular opinions, but don't put it out there where they're losing work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I will agree with her on the other end where it's like the people who do speak on the side of people who do agree on that side, like
Mhm.
people who want, meaning like, she's on the right, people on the left, the consequences should be similar, right? Just
Yeah.
because you shouldn't be putting politics in anything that's out there. And I get it, you want to put everything on social media, but when you're working for a company, don't 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 risk your job. Don't uh
Yeah.
put things out there that are inflaming, that are going to piss off one side or the other. So
I agree with you.
yeah.
I do think that you know, I think it came down to Disney just wanted it to go away. And I believe that maybe I'm just a naive summer child, but I believe that they put in her contract, yeah, we will offer you roles. But I'm wondering exactly how good those roles are going to be. I'm wondering the price point is going to be to her liking. I'm wondering if they're going to offer her roles and she's going to turn them down, and then they're going to be like, "Well, we offered you roles and you keep turning them down, so you know,
And then
all right, we're done."
she's going to complain about how, well, they're offering me derivative roles, and they're offering me this, and they're offering me, things that are less than what I feel I deserve. And it's like, well,
And
no.
then they can come back and say, "We're offering you roles commensurate to your talent."
Yeah. But
Because
it's
she
also
plays badass women, but she in her real life can't take that she can't say things and get away with it because she's a badass woman. No, sweetie, you're a woman in a patriarchy. So maybe think about the other women that have suffered so that you can say those things on X or wherever. And then, and if you get fired from a company that has nothing to do with free speech, go whine about it somewhere else
yeah.
because I'm done with her. I think that she is not a good person. I will not go out of my way to say anything nice about her.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I didn't even want to do this story because I didn't want to give her more time in the spotlight. I feel like she's reaching for 16 and she's been trying a long time and she complained her way into money so that she can get her hair dyed weird because her hair looks horrible right now. And just and she didn't have anything else. I haven't seen her in anything else. Have you seen her in anything else since
Uh,
she got fired?
I haven't seen her in anything, but she has been on things. She's been on these weird right wing, you know, websites and stuff like that. She's on like Charlie Kirk's like little movie attempts and stuff like that. She's in like that arena where like, she can only get
Exactly.
on far right movies.
So
And
she's in the Dean Cain, Kevin Sorbo sphere now.
yes, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly where she's at.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, if she does come back to the Mandalorian, I bet they kill her off pretty quick. I think Disney has smarter lawyers, as we've seen with the Florida thing, but has smarter lawyers than probably she had. And I'm betting the contract that she thinks is a sweetheart deal is not as sweetheart as she thinks it is.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Because let's face it, Bob Iger may not have a plan for Disney, but he sure knows how to hire lawyers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Last comment I'm going to make before we move on to the next story because we've spent too much time on this one. But Dean Cain is Overman. Okay, guys, he's not Superman. He's Overman. If you don't know who
Yeah.
Overman is, Google Overman, and it'll make all the sense in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go
All
ahead and
right.
move on to the next story here.
Don't get me started about Dean Cain. Shorty.
Like I said, he's
From
Overman. He's not
okay,
Superman. He's
that's
Overman. Look up
right.
Overman DC. You guys will know. You will immediately. You'll probably laugh because you're gonna be like, "Oh no, yeah, okay, I see why he said that."
From legal settlements to legendary sabers. The original screen used Darth Vader lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is going to auction for $1 to $3 million.
Jesus,
That's one expensive glow stick. But hey, it did cut off Luke's hand and half the galaxy's hope.
absolutely did. Uh, this is insane. The amount of money that it's going for, but I mean, it makes sense because it's
Yeah,
the screen used Vader saber.
right.
It's only going to be the elite nerds that are going to buy that.
Yeah, and it's gonna be battle worn, and it's probably not gonna work right because I mean,
Well,
Vader used it.
you also have to remember. in the IRL, right? It is not a usable lightsaber. It is the original hilt, screen used hilt that is designed for display. So it's not for like the lightsaber fans out there that are like, hey, I'm gonna get a lightsaber from Kyber Cave and pop that in there. No, it's not one of those.
Exactly. Right. But you can get lightsabers at Kyber Cave because they have merch.
They got merch, people.
Hello there.
Mm-hmm. That's what Obi-Wan would be like. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Vader's saber.
And then Vader would come in. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my Wilhelm back on here. So, no, right there. Yes. All right. Let's move on here.
Oh, is that me again? Oh, that is me again. Okay. All right. Over in Marvel Land.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Jon Bernthal has wrapped filming on Marvel's Punisher special presentation, shot in just 12 days.
Yeah, they shot that.
This project is described as a shotgun blast of a story with emotional depth. It would have to be for a 12-day shoot. That's all I'm saying. It's a shotgun blast of a story. I love that. The new costume screams, I've seen things. And yes, Frank Castle clears a warehouse faster than his shoot wrapped.
Yeah. Did you see the video of him thanking the crew?
It was so sweet. He is so sweet. He is such a sweet guy for somebody who plays such mean people all the time. But he's that same. It's the same. Like I get so annoyed with his characters a lot because how he plays them. But I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. It's like John Cena. I get annoyed with John Cena stuff, but I do like John Cena is such a good person, and so is they're both Johns. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. I can't. My mind's blown now.
Just Bernthal's. His name is spelled the Jewish way. So
that's right. There you go.
But I mean, like, still, he is. I mean, he plays such gravelly Brooklyn. I'm gonna beat like brawler kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like Giancarlo Esposito plays such detestable, hateable people, but he's like the nicest guy in existence.
Right? Yeah, and that's like, it's so funny because people have such. Because the only time they see them is with like their characters, and so like people are, I'm sure, are like, oh God, I don't know, Jon Bernthal. But you see all these videos with people, and they're like, he was the coolest, nicest person ever. Like, because he walks around like nothing, and people come up to him, and he does little videos with them, and I'm just like, oh, why can't I live where he lives? No, not really. I don't want to live there. Anyway.
Well, let's go ahead and keep going here. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. All right, James Marsden is officially back as Cyclops in Avengers Doomsday. He calls the experience a homecoming and says the costume still fits. Barely. Let's hope this time he gets more than 5 lines and doesn't die off screen while Wolverine flirts with his future wife.
That's hard to say. Wolverine flirts. I apologize.
No, it's fine. The thing is they've also said that Marsden's costume, it's funny how he says the costume still fits, because I know he's playing that version of Cyclops, but they've also said that he is supposed to be in a comic accurate Jim Lee version of the costume.
Yeah, we reported on, there's that rumor last week that we reported on that's what they're thinking about. I think it would be great. Look, he deserves a new outfit. Right?
I just want to see him.
You don't let somebody die off screen and don't give him a new fucking outfit. I mean, he deserves a new outfit.
I want to see him in the navy blue. It would be awesome to see him in the navy blue costume.
I want to see that too. I have been waiting for comic book accurate outfits for all of them. Now, whether that's the Ultimates, I do love the little puffy jackets that they had in the Ultimates. I thought that was kind of cute. But I want all of it. I want to see Jean in the green dress and the weird mask. I want to see that. I don't know.
You want to see her like rocking the Marvel girl?
Yeah, like the old school Marvel Gold thing. I want to see that. But I think it would be great, like how they did it with the Scarlet Witch in WandaVision, how it was like a Halloween costume or something. I think that would be funny. If like there's a Halloween like scene in one of the movies or whatever, and you see them like dressed up as like that, and they're like, "What are you going as?" And it's like, "Oh, we're going as superheroes." And like, but it's them as, Anyway,
Yeah, no,
we've gone off on a tangent.
I'm just excited. Like what I've always wanted to see is if we're gonna get comic book accurate, I want that Jim Lee style. I want that navy blue, yellow accent. Like especially with his of all the X-Men characters, between him and Wolverine, they have the most iconic X-Men costumes, and that's
It's
what I
true.
want. Yeah,
Yeah. You think of the X-Men, the first two that come up with like specific like costumes that are iconic are Wolverine and Cyclops.
and Cyclops. And again, I want to see the Jim Lee version just because the old like the older Stanley versions with like the full head piece and like the bald cap on, like that would be
It's like
cool
he was
too.
wearing a freaking wetsuit.
Yeah, like that would be cool too. But I prefer this version with like the hair out and everything like that. There's something about that version just kind of just seems badass.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes him look a little bit more assholey. So, and we like that. So.
Right. You want him to be a dickhead that seems like he's going to leave his family. So let's go ahead and move on.
In space, Sinestro can hear you scream.
Of course he can.
Ulrich Thompson has wrapped filming as Sinestro in HBO's Lantern series. He teased a positive return, saying, "I'll keep one side for later." Because, he's Dutch. If he doesn't monologue about fear while floating ominously, then is he even the leader of the Sinestro Corps?
Absolutely not. If he doesn't have a fear monologue in the Lantern series, then it's gonna be the first time I'll be upset with James Gunn.
That's true.
Like Sinestro needs to be a blowhard. He needs to be such a fucking blowhard. Like he needs to be so full of himself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He has to have that. It's not just that he's so confident, that it's like not cocky. It's like he has this like impenetrable wall of knowing he's right. It really is that kind of, and that's the level of confidence he needs to have.
But there's also an air of aristocracy with the way that Sinestro handles himself because he comes from royalty. So it's like he has this "I'm better than you" attitude. And if he doesn't have that as a character, he's not as interesting.
Yeah. I think that's going to be really key. I do think that Ulrich Thompson has it. I think that he can do it. So I hope they utilize him to his full potential.
Right.
So. And let's go from space to 11th Street Kids. The Peacemaker doesn't know what pocket universe means.
Of course he doesn't.
He doesn't. He does.
He
No,
would.
he wouldn't.
This version of this version of Peacemaker wouldn't.
He's kind of a Peacemaker / Booster Gold, I think. He just doesn't know anything.
He kind of is. He's such an idiot, but I mean, I love him though.
John Cena revealed his cameo in Superman was a last-minute call from James Gunn, and he said, "Heck yes." He confirmed that Peacemaker Season 2 will tie directly into the new DCU. Somewhere in the multiverse, Peacemaker and Lobo are probably arm wrestling over who gets the last protein bar.
Drop it or I'll frag you.
Or it's like Jason Momoa was on Jolly, and because they hadn't ever been to Hawaii, and so he was showing them his favorite place in Hawaii, and they had spam sushi, and I can't remember. I think it's called spam wasubi. Yeah, wasubi. Misubi, that's it. Yeah, Misubi. And I was just thinking maybe they would be fighting arm wrestling over who gets the last Masubi instead.
It's like one of my favorite snacks of all time. When we went to Hawaii, they they sell Spam Musubi at like grocery stores.
Yeah, I hear it's like everywhere.
Yeah, when you go to like the deli section, they'll have like Spam Musubi that's just like wrapped in there, like in the warm section and whatnot. And I mean, all it is rice, teriyaki sauce, and Spam. It's delicious though, but like
Yeah.
wrapped up as like sushi and soy wrap. So it's
like what is it? Bibbop?
bimbap.
Yeah, it's like that because that's just like rice. It's a rice cake with like seaweed, like
Yeah.
and they're really good. I love all that. But anyway, it doesn't. I said seaweed, and apparently my iPhone did not like that. So we've covered the cameos, the casting chaos, and the cape count. Now it's time to zoom out and ask, who's steering the ship?
Oh, we're gonna get here. Let's unpack the latest promises from Paramount's new overlord and Disney's reigning reboot king.
Oh, you said that really gravelly. You gave it a lot of gravitas. I appreciate that.
We've heard it all before. Studio heads promising innovation, originality, and a bold new future right before greenlighting another sequel to a sequel to another sequel of a reboot. This week, cycle continues. David Ellison declares day one of a new Paramount as the Skydance merger closes, pitching a new tech-savvy studio built for the future. But behind the sleek branding, layoffs, legal baggage, and newsroom shakeup that feels more corporate than creative. Meanwhile, our good friend Bob Iger insists Disney is focused on creating new IP and values fresh ideas, but the release calendar tells a different story. Moana, Zootopia, Toy Story, Frozen, Inside Out, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, Fox, ABC, Hulu, ESPN, National Geographic, your childhood, your neighbor's childhood, your dog's favorite movie, all getting sequels, spin-offs, or reboots. So let's put the studio speeches in the rear view. This isn't about what they say. It's about what they make. And what they're making feels less like a creative renaissance and more like a nostalgic treadmill. So the question we're going to go over in these next couple of minutes here, this time that we have, is Ellison's new Paramount just old Hollywood with a tech facelift? Is Disney's idea of new IP just IP you haven't seen in a decade? And most importantly, who is actually investing in stories that surprise us?
Okay, let me answer all the questions real quick, and then you can go into your thing because I'm not going to say a ton of stuff on this. I mean, I could say a lot, but Ellison's new Paramount, Old Hollywood, I think that's true. When studios merge, layoffs happen, but it just seems like a lot of smoke and mirrors to me as far as that goes. And Disney's idea of new IP Disney's idea for new IP has been what you haven't seen in the last 10 years forever. That has been their bread and butter since Disney began, really, to be honest with you. And I don't see it changing. And I really think good old Bobby Iger might need to let somebody else take the reins. It didn't work when he chose the person. Maybe don't let him choose. Maybe pick somebody else, somebody that might have a better vision. Do interviews. I don't know. Like actually do a job. And the most important, it says most importantly, who's actually investing in stories that surprise us. A24.
Yeah.
A24. Yeah, that's it. How many A24 movies have we all just loved? And like like I'll watch a trailer and I'm like, "Oh, this is so good." And then later I find out, "Oh, that's an A24 movie."
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying right there. Now, my issues here, David Ellison he's a bootlicker at this point. Just the way that he's going about everything, the people that he's firing, the people that just the way that he's going about Paramount. I get he might be trying to cut the fat because Paramount has not been successful in the last couple of years. They have successful IPs, But
Right.
Paramount in itself as an organization has not been very successful. And that's been kind of like a big issue that's been happening in the industry is how do we fix Paramount? How do we do this? We tried to do Paramount Plus. It didn't work out the way that we thought it was going to. People didn't gravitate towards Star Trek. Weirdly enough, people didn't gravitate towards Star Trek the way that they thought they were going to. They went into these big budget
Yeah.
TV shows and they were really well done, and there's so much that Paramount offers that is good, but David Ellison, and Skydance buy everything out and they're just like, no, we're gonna start getting rid of everything that we can,
Yeah.
and we're just not gonna we're not gonna hold on to anything anymore. Now, Disney, I have been complaining about this for a while. And I've had like full on arguments with James on the show about this because Bob Iger, all he's doing is what is going to make us money. It's not how can we be the most creative. I think we did. There was a reel that we did a while back specifically about Bob Iger. If Walt Disney were alive, set aside the problematic stuff with Walt Disney, but if Walt Disney were alive today, would he be proud of what Bob Iger is doing with his company? And the answer is
The
no.
answer is no.
The
Yeah.
answer is absolutely not. Why? Because Walt Disney was a risk taker. Walt Disney was take this story that I know is a good story and let's find a way to knock this out of the park.
Yeah. I have a feeling if Walt was still alive or the Disney family was still involved, like Silo would be a Disney product
Yes.
because that's something that like his family, like the reason freaking Mary Poppins even happened was because his daughter, like Walt Disney's daughters, loved it and they read it together and he wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. There wasn't anybody going, we need a Mary Poppins movie. No one was saying that. And then it becomes such a big thing for Disney. So it's like, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, he did that. Like he
Right.
went to literary things and did stuff with that. Now, a lot of times Walt kind of bastardized them and
He did.
Sleeping Beauty.
He did.
Sleeping
At
Beauty is
the
the
same
perfect
time,
example of that, but
like at the same time, what Walt was doing, and he like there are interviews with him talking about it, is modernizing the fairy tales. Because if you look at a lot of the stories that they did, these stories were horrifying. Like you look at
yeah.
Snow White, it is a horrifying story. If you look at this was after his time, but if you look at the Little Mermaid, like the
Oh
little
yeah, that's horrifying. Yep,
right,
yep.
the
She
Little
gets
Mermaid is
turned into sea foam.
right, but not just that, she was a green sea monster. Her whole thing,
Yeah.
in the original story, right? In the Disney story, she magically loses her voice, and Ursula takes the voice and controls the voice, right?
hmm
In the original story, the sea witch cuts out her tongue.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's pretty brutal.
Right.
It's pretty brutal. Yeah.
She can't walk at any point in the story. She does not learn how to walk because every time she tries to take a step, it feels like glass shards are going through her feet. It's
Yeah.
there are so many different messed up things about the Little Mermaid. They
hmm
changed the entire story to make it something that was more digestible for people. Uh,
Right.
if you look at what they're doing right now, right? They're doing is rehashing IP that they already have. Well, the IP that they're rehashing was original when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moana is an original story. Moana is
Yep.
we took mythology that exists that didn't have a story. We took a period of time where Polynesians weren't sailing, and when we put two and two together and said, let's create a story that tells that story. And we're
Yeah.
telling everybody it is a fictional story, but at the same time, it honors the legends and the mythology that exists there. Zootopia was very original. It was very fun way to go. Toy Story was one of the most original stories that became a massive
Mhm.
franchise, but I mean, like, it was original. Frozen was one of the last projects that Walt Disney was working on that he couldn't figure out how to do.
Yeah. Well, like Encanto,
Encanto's another one.
totally original. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, so there's so many things that you can do, and just rehashing stuff over and over again. Although I am also a fan of reboots too, because like I've been on threads, like talking on threads and talking on Blue Sky about how Pedro Pascal needs to be Burt
Needs to
Reynolds
be
in
Burt
something.
Reynolds. Yeah. Yeah. I
He
think
needs to
we need
be either a Burt Reynolds character, or like I'm like Cannonball Run, Smokey and the
Smokey
Bandit.
and the Bandit
Let's
for sure.
redo these.
Smokey and the
Yeah.
Bandit they could do today. Um, I mean, I agree. Reboots are fine to an extent. What I do like is some of these reboots where they're taking like I like the idea of taking a movie that was successful in the 80s and telling that story 30 years later. What happened
Right.
30 years from this story? Literally, the number one movie in the country right now is The Naked Gun, and it's about Frank Drebin Jr. It is about
Yeah.
Frank Drebin's son,
Yeah.
right? Tron Ares is a reboot, or is a continuation of a reboot, but they're rebooting a series from the 80s that became a cult classic, but was not successful when it came out. Tron was
Yeah.
by any stretch of imagination, Tron was not a successful movie.
It was a flop.
It was. Tron
Yeah.
was, but what happened is it was a cult classic because of all the concepts in it. It became something that was more like Tron became more than what they intended it to be, and they had to do a reboot. I personally liked the new Tron movie. A
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah.
hate
Yeah.
it, right? I actually enjoyed it. I love the update on the series, and this is what happens as everything kind of updates. And I love the idea of taking it a step further and doing a commentary on AI, but doing characters that were in the grid and are now in our world.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
that idea. I'm all in for Tron Ares, and I haven't even seen Tron Ares. I haven't even seen a trailer
Yeah.
for it yet.
Oh, there's a trailer out
I
recently. I
know.
don't think
I
I
haven't
watched it
yet.
either, though. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it though. No, so speaking of Tron, I think the original Tron was just before its time. Just like
It
I
was.
think that movie, The Black Hole, when they did it, I think it was before its time. If
That's
they had done it later, I think it would have been a lot better because it didn't do very well, but it's a really solid movie. So Disney doesn't have a problem making really good movies. It's just they've lost the risk takerness of
yeah.
it, and
Yeah.
they need to get that back. And I think
Uh,
that, that, and I'm putting a pin in the Skydance Paramount thing. Maybe Ellison will, get
I
this done, and
I'm
eventually they'll get to
interested in
hire people back, and
yeah.
but I have very little faith. Being a studio head, the only one I really trust right now, and I kind of wish he would stop talking just so I don't have to report on him every week, is James Gunn. That is the only him and Peter Safran. Those are the only 2 studio heads at the moment that I can trust. I don't know A24 studio head. I trust them too. I don't know, but I don't think they have a studio head. I think they have people like
They're
a
a collective.
committee that
Yeah,
huh?
they're a collective. Uh,
Right.
them
So that's
and
why I was like, I don't think they do. But
Blumhouse. I mean, Blumhouse is starting to
yeah.
get into the reboot arena too, but I mean, like for the most part, Blumhouse, they take original horror ideas and they'll invest in it.
Yeah.
You may or may not be a fan of horror. I know you're not a fan of horror, but I mean, like he is investing in original IP. He's investing. Blum Jason Blum is investing in original IP, and that's the only way where you can drive art forward. Jeff
Right.
in the chat saying easy solution for all of that, let artists do art, and I agree with that. I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. I've always said the problem with the problem that DC had originally was because studio heads would put their hands in the cookie jar and not let artists do their art. Let
Yeah.
them do their art. If you allow them to do their art, things tend to be better, especially if you find somebody who actually cares about what it is that they're doing, right? If you have
Yeah.
someone like James Gunn who cares so much about comic books and DC and everything that he's working on, that he wants to do something that not only appeals to mass audiences but also appeals to the fans who already love this stuff. Like, don't
Yeah.
alienate people who are already here. Don't alienate your built-in fan base in order to put a bet on maybe we can get different fans, or maybe we
Right.
can try and get a different fan base. No, you have a built-in fan base. You have millions of nerds that love comic books. Make movies for us with good stories, i.e. Superman,
Yeah.
and everybody will come into that, because it's like, not only is it a good movie for fans of the comic books, but also it's generally a good movie. So people
Yeah.
are going to go and watch that. That's what you need. It's things
Yeah.
like that. Another thing I'm going to bring up real quick here is where I feel like Bob Iger has lost the point, is what's going on with ESPN. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. I just don't think Bob Iger has a plan. I think he's piecemealing it together as he goes along. It's clear that James Gunn has a plan. He
mhm,
has a plan, he has a strategy, and so far he's delivered on it. And I think as long as he delivers on it, everybody's going to be happy.
yeah.
If he doesn't, then
Yeah. Well,
who knows?
James is in the chat right now, and I
Mhm.
know he knows what I'm going to bring up right now, because I was just talking about what he's doing with ESPN. So, and also what's going on. So, on the wrestling front, right? They just announced that PLE's premium live events are no longer going to be on Peacock as of next year. Peacock is $10 a month, right? It
Yeah.
is affordable. They are moving everything over to the ESPN Plus app, and it's going to be $30 a month.
That's ridiculous. And like the Disney Plus app, you can get some ESPN stuff, but you can't get all of the ESPN Plus stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a joke.
Yeah, it's a combination of Bob Iger and Nick Khan, who is the guy who runs WWE. It's a combination of both of them
Hmm.
thinking that their fan base is worthless and stupid.
And gonna pay whatever price
Right.
they ask them to pay.
They think that, okay, well, we convinced all these people to leave the $5 a month WWE app that had everything and worked perfectly. We convinced all these people to switch over to Peacock, which is not as good, but I mean, this is the only place where I can watch the live events. It's the only place where I can watch the main events. And then now they announce, oh, well, you know what? Our fans are so loyal to us that when we switch them over to the ESPN app and force them to pay $30 a month for this app, which I get it. It's not just WWE. You're also getting the NFL network, because the NFL network just signed a deal to work exclusively in that app. But why do I want to pay $30 a month for one app on top of $25 a month for Netflix, on top of
Right.
whatever? I mean, it's so much more than cable. I might as well just go and get
Mhm.
cable again.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Like it
Hmm.
is so, to us as fans, it is so disrespectful to look at us in this way, knowing that the economy is the way it is. I get it. They're just sitting here like,
Hmm.
oh no, the economy's fine because they say that it's fine. We're gonna go with what they're saying right here. So you can afford, because of all this excess money that you're gonna be having, you can afford a $30 a month app. And it's like, no, no.
Yeah.
Even if we were as rich as they want to say that they want to gaslight us into believing that we are, nobody wants to pay $30 a month for an app.
I don't wanna pay anything for an app. I'm
Uh,
cheap.
I mean, yeah. If it's something that's included in something, I would rather that.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind pay if it's like multiple things, like multiple. Like I can watch Hulu on Disney Plus, so I get to watch the Hulu stuff. So if they could, if they did that, but they won't. And you
Yeah.
know what? I think we've beaten this
We have,
till
we
it's
have.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. It is definitely something that you know. the final point that I'm going to make is, hey, heads of the studios, all of you guys running all the studios and everybody out there, we're not as dumb as you think we are. And I
No, we're
get that
not.
you all think that we are gullible and we are just going to give you whatever money you ask for in order to entertain us. But it goes the opposite way, guys,
Mm-hmm.
because you think that we won't, like, you think that we won't stop paying for this stuff.
Right.
And the proof in the pudding is how all of you guys are scrambling over ticket sales at theaters and how nobody's going to go see movies right now. It's because you guys have outpriced everything.
Yep.
So
Exactamundo.
yeah, we're not dumb and we deal with it for the most part, but after a while, people are going to revolt against you. And if money is all you care about, you're going to lose a lot of it.
Yep.
That's not a threat. That's a promise.
Welcome to our A24 overlords.
Support indie movies. Let's go. All right.
Well,
Support
the
indie
studio
filmmaking.
heads.
Yeah, support indie
Keep.
filmmaking. Go to YouTube and go watch Deadpool versus John Wick.
That's a great movie. While the studio heads keep promising the moon and delivering reruns, we're shifting focus to the fans, the floor, and the frenzy that are fandom conventions.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump into the next segment. It's time for the Geek and Damn, I didn't.
Yeah, on my end it was like kind of like it sounded like the horror version of like suddenly there's a horror movie going on in the newsroom.
It didn't. I didn't even get the word out of my mouth before it went. There was like no delay on that one. Usually there's a delay when I hit the button. It was like, whoa, that was instant. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, before we do that, I want to mention because I don't know if everybody knows this on Instagram, because I did this today and it's like an hour long hidden YouTube video. If you guys liked Superman, go to Instagram, go to Superman's account, just Superman. And there are cards, they're digital cards, and they have a letter on each card, and that gets you a code. If you go to the Superman IG account, it has a LinkedIn, like a link tree thing. If you hit on that, there's one that says unlock the fortress. Click on that, put in the code, and it will take you to an hour-long YouTube video that is Superman behind the scenes. It's so cool. And I watched the whole thing. I watched every bit of it and I loved it. And it's so amazing. So I would suggest after the show, head on over to Instagram and do that fun little thing. And it's totally worth it. If you liked the movie Superman, you'll really like the behind the scenes stuff because they do interviews with the cast. James Gunn wears a really bad green sweater, but you know what? He's James Gunn. Peter Safran tears up in it. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
I'm
So
sure
go
it'll
over
be
there
on,
after the show.
I'm sure it'll be on the DVD extras when the DVD comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's half of them. But it's really good. It's definitely worth it, and it's hidden, and it's so cool, and it's very, like, social media friendly. It's so neat. I loved it. I was like, "I'm gonna watch it." Okay,
Nice.
now we can go.
So yeah, let's do this, guys. We had a couple of cons over the weekend. Now, this first con that we have here, of course, our con correspondents went and checked out the VerseCon over at the Scottish Rite Center here in Sacramento, California. Over the weekend happened. It was a Pokemon themed show, and here to talk about it is, of course, our lovely friend Sandra DeLong.
Hello again.
Hello, Sandra.
Hey. So, yeah, this weekend I was at the Scottish Rite Center with Impound Comics on behalf of Sack Geeks, and it was a ton of fun. There was, oh my gosh, so much cosplay of Pokemon. and everyone was running around saying, "There's Snore, there's." I'm like, I don't know enough Pokemon to know what you are, but cool. And of course, we had the cosplay contest.
Uh-huh.
And the fun thing about that was there was some like mishap or something with the original host. So Sat Geeks got put in charge of it. When within Sat Geeks, I got put in charge of it.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, this may seem like an interrogation, Sandra.
Okay.
But so did they disappear or did you disappear them?
She disappeared them. That's Sandra style.
No, they
Right? Yeah,
disappeared
no, yeah.
themselves.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you after the show.
Yeah.
I have all the dirt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it. You know what? I rescind the question, counselor. Please continue.
So yeah, it was really fun because I also teamed up with the cosplay dropouts who were there as a special guest, and Team Inferno. They were awesome judges. They gathered up some really cool prizes for the winners. And if you can't tell, the first place winner was the cosplayer right there. Astra's here with the big, gigantic flower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That cosplay, she makes all her own what's it for the dresses, patterns and everything. It's just awesome. And it kept falling apart. Their mom carries a hot glue gun in their bag wherever they go, and they plug it in and fix their stuff as it falls apart.
I mean, you got to, right? That's
exactly.
how you do it.
And we had, oh my gosh, we had so much fun running around. And even also Jeff, who's here, he was a celebrity handler all weekend long. And maybe he wants to share some of that experience.
So me and Tyler were over hanging out with the Pokemon. The celebrity that I was sitting with was Bill. I cannot remember his last name off the top of my head, but he was the second voice for Brock from. There was one voice before him, and then he did it till Brock and Ash and them all walked off into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he's
wow.
also done
That's cool.
Ton of Pokemon. He was also the king from Breath of the Wild.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
He was also I suck at Transformers. The red, white, and green Autobot.
Green.
Was he
He
Italian?
turns into like a race car, if I remember right.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
I was like, red, white, and green.
In the movie,
Isn't that
they turned him
Italy
into a
or
van.
Mexico.
Turned him into a van.
But he was from the new Netflix series. He did Transformer. Then he was also in one of the new Street Fighter games as well.
Oh, Wheeljack.
Yeah, Wheeljack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Wheeljack. And then Ed, which was the table next to us, which Bill and Ed are friends. That was very clear from hanging out with them.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it was Starscream and another character from the Netflix series Transformers. Was the taxi driver from one of the Pokemon games and did a bunch of Pokemon voices and the Has-Been voice.
He did a voice on Has-Been Hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That show's all over the place right now.
Yeah. And then the one, I forget his name. He was a really nice guy, but the person Tyler was sitting with was like in a lot of shows. Everything from the Ladybug superhero one for little girls. I forget the name of it. Like
Oh, I know it.
Yeah.
Miraculous.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
From that thing to he was a Lego Joker. He was Luke Skywalker when Luke Skywalker was on Phineas and Ferb.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Skywalker version.
Yeah, he was Mewtwo at one point. He was Charizard. He was so yeah. And then there was another celebrity there that I ended up having a couple conversations with. That was from the first season, and he did a bunch of the different Pokemon. He actually gave me a cool print. It's Mankey. Yeah, Mankey when Mankey steals Ash's hat.
Oh, that's so cute.
So
I like Mankey.
But all the celebrities were really cool, fun people to hang out with, and yeah.
Now, are you guys going to Tri-Cities Powerhouse?
Yes.
Or you? Oh, you guys are. Okay, so you're going down with Phil.
Yes.
Yep.
And Tyler's going. So.
Yes, and Bruce is coming along for the ride too.
Nice.
He is willing to miss the second and third day of school.
Oh, darn. Darn it. I'm sure he's just torn up about it.
Man, I really wanted to go to school.
Man.
It's in his file that he's a cosplayer and goes to Comic-Cons. It really is.
He'll learn more at the Comic-Con than school.
Yeah.
Actually, he'll probably learn stuff he shouldn't be learning. So
he'll learn the power of friendship and imagination.
That early in the school year, he actually might learn more at a con.
Maybe.
So we all know the first week of school is all just how do you do's.
It's all, hey guys, remember you actually learned stuff last year. Let's talk about it a little bit. And everybody's like, I don't want to talk about last year. Let's move on. I'm a different person now. Look at my hair. Sorry.
Oh, his is the same pretty much, but
it's a total girl thing. Girls never want to talk. Well, no, I don't want to talk about what happened last year. I went through summer and I have totally changed now. And then you're like, no, you really haven't. You're exactly the same. And they go, no, I haven't changed. I have changed. Look at my hair. That's, yeah. Anyway, just let me go. Just let me go. He must be doing other stuff. So who are you guys most excited about seeing at Powerhouse? You two. The DeLongs. Yeah, not Phil. I don't care what Phil thinks. What
no, I'm just trying to think. I can only remember that the Sonic voice actors are going to be there, and Bruce is excited to be. And April. But Bruce is excited about the Sonic voice actors, and he is going to be dressed up as his Sonic pool at Tri-City.
Ryan Drummond, Scott Dreyer, and David Humphrey. They're all going to be there. They're the Sonic crew. Sonic.
Yeah. And Bruce is excited to see that. I think that's the real reason why he's willing to be like, yeah, I'll go.
I'll miss.
I don't want to go to school. Yeah.
I'll miss school for that.
I think you're giving him. I think if you had just said, hey, do you want to go? And he didn't know who it was going to be, he'd be like, okay, well, I'll go.
No, he's been on this stint of not wanting to go to cons.
Oh, okay. Oh, is he preteen? He's a preteen now, isn't
he? Yeah, he's what they call tween. Yeah. So
he's a tween. Yeah. Oh, bless you.
But he did have fun at VerseCon. He had fun at VerseCon, but I think it's because he had a couple of friends hanging out with him all day.
Ah. Well, I mean, he can become friends with Paige Turco. It's April from TMT.
You can go be friends with Paige Turco, even though we're not going to be interviewing her. But it's fine.
But you guys are interviewing Mark Price, right? Skippy.
So as of right now, actually, let's transition. I'll talk about it more here in a second.
Okay.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into talking about Tri-Cities Powerhouse, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the DeLong family cosplay is on the road to 200 subscribers on YouTube. Guys, follow them, subscribe. Do it now. Oh, well, do it after the show. Don't do it now, but do it after the show. And once they
win a Leopleurodon.
Yeah, once they hit 2, you can win a Leopleurodon. And when you ask about the Leopleurodon, it's a magical Leopleurodon, Charlie.
Very magical.
Magical Leopleurodon. Oh my God, they stole my kidneys. Okay,
Candy Mountain.
Candy Mountain. Candy Mountain. It's full of
Focus.
candy and mountain and
Phil,
sweetness.
focus. Phil, focus. We're already at 2
Yes,
hours,
we're
honey.
done. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Carl!
Carl. Tri-Cities Powerhouse Comic-Con is happening on August 16th and 17th in Pasco, Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be seeing Paige Turco from Ninja Turtles, Mark Price, the man Skippy from Family Ties himself, Linda Miller from King Kong Escapes, Christine Otten, who is a voice actress. She's been in a lot of anime and different things. Animator Tom Cook, most famously an animator for Super Friends, Scooby-Doo, Smurfs, Godzilla, Heathcliff, He-Man, and so much more. And of course, we're going to be doing a Sonic the Hedgehog actor presentation on stage with Ryan Drummond, the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog, Scott Dreyer, the voice of Knuckles, and of course actor David Humphrey, who was Shadow in Sonic. So it's going to be a good time, guys. Make your way there. If you head to TriCitiesComicCon.com, TriCitiesPowerhouseComicCon.com, you can get tickets there now. Now, what we were talking about with Mark Price. So Mark Price, I believe, is going to be doing a comedy show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So not that we are going to be doing an interview with him, but he'll be on stage doing a comedy show. We're probably going to introduce him, and if there's time at the end, then we may ask a couple questions or do a Q&A. But for the most part, he's just going to get on stage and be funny.
Hey, well, you know what? It's less work for you.
I guess.
You'll get to be in the audience.
Yeah, that stuff is fun for me. So I mean, like being on stage is fun. You know me, I just like to ham it up in front of people.
Not you. Never.
Me, never,
Never.
never. So yes, guys, like I mentioned before, and then we're going to be doing on both days. We have trivia that we're going to be doing. We're actually writing new trivia questions, so it's going to be a good time. If you are in the area, if you are in the kind of like that lower
Tri-Cities area.
Tri-Cities area. Again, we'll be in Pasco, Washington, ladies and gentlemen, at the Red Lion Hotel. So we will see you guys there this weekend. It's going to be a great time. Now, if you are there, we do have a table. And guys, if you are interested, you should be, because it's pretty badass. But you can get some merch from us because we got merch, people.
Yeah, see that one, like you press it and it takes a second.
I know.
I can't believe the other one did that. That was weird. That I don't know why that did that, but so we have shirts. We have the chase version of the black shirt that's on the screen, and then we have the gray shirt. Correct? Are we running out of the gray shirt?
We were running low on some colors. We just had some re-upped, so we'll have some new some of those back in.
And then no word on the hats yet.
No word on the hats. We did get some gifts for the Galongs. I don't know if they're not wearing them right now, but
no. Let's it's not weather appropriate right now.
Yeah, well, we got them some beanies. So there's some distance nerding beanies.
They look great on tigers.
Yeah, it really does. Sewong is saying he's not going to be there because he's going to be at GalaxyCon.
Well,
okay.
Choices have consequences. Sewong, choices have consequences.
Galaxy is a little closer than Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
2-hour drive.
Consequences.
That's
all I'm saying. So beanies and then the con bags, right? We got the con bags. And the con bags are $10. You get those at the Distance Nerding booth at Tri-City Powerhouse.
That's right. And we'll wheel and deal, guys. We'll make some deals if you guys are interested in some deals and everything like that. So just come by the booth and we'll talk, guys.
The more you buy, the more you tell us you love us.
Yeah, go get your stickers.
What if I just give you things, though?
There's also that. I mean, you can do that too.
I mean, I gave Tyler 2 full bags of stuff to give to you.
Oh yeah. No, I've got that stuff. So yes, we'll be doing that, and we'll be giving away a bunch of stuff. It's gonna be a good time, guys. So with that being said, let's talk schedule, because we've got a schedule and we try to keep that. Tuesdays, the download, the show you're watching right now, from 6:30 to 8:30. We're just a little bit over, but we're fine. 6:30 to 8:30, we talk news, rumors, all the fun things. Comic-Cons, obviously. We're talking Comic-Cons right now. Thursday, the build, from 6 to 8, where we talk with guests and I build Lego on screen, and we just have a fun doozy of a little time. Because it is a good time, ladies and gentlemen. It's on YouTube. You can hang out with me. You can hang out with sometimes Jen's there, sometimes Shadoo's there. Graveyard is always there. But I'm building.
I'm gonna be there on the 28th.
Oh yeah. We got a big interview on the 28th, guys. So I hope everybody's there for it. Of course, Fridays, the buzzer, where knowing the answer is optional, but laughing at the wrong one is mandatory. That's our game show, guys. We typically do those on Fridays. Now, for this week's schedule, we are moving the buzzer to Thursday. So we will be doing the buzzer this Thursday instead of on Friday. Friday, we're going to be driving to Pasco, Washington. So I'm not doing a show on Friday. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, and then I announced it on Instagram already, so I might as well not even beat around the bush for this. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 28th of this month, viral internet sensation Chad the Bird is going to be on the show.
I'm so excited. I love Chad the Bird.
He's absolutely hilarious. I love him so much. And he's been kind of a joy to talk to, like in correspondence, just like talking over email and everything. Because the energy that he has in his performances, he has in his emails. So it's like,
I imagine it's just it's gonna be glorious. I want to ask him about how much freaking research went into the droid thing. We're not going to talk about Star Wars. That's my favorite one he's done.
We're not going to talk about. Oh my god! What's the one I just sent you guys? No. Okay, he did one a while back, but I was listening to it where he starts talking about like an epic battle, right?
And it's Demolition Man.
No, it's not. He starts talking about like this epic battle, and just like how just he's describing how epic this is, and then he goes, and in the end, everybody runs in and everybody fucking dies, but the name of that warrior is stained on everyone's tongue, and his name was Leroy Jenkins. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah. He did one on Demolition Man. He's done a lot. He's done a lot. There's one that just came out that I didn't get a chance to watch before.
The poem he did for the Pope was hilarious.
Yeah, that one was awesome. I loved that.
The Pope is from Chicago.
Yeah. So I think we'll have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think we're gonna have a great time. So yes, guys. We will be hanging out with Chad the Bird on the 28th. I believe that is 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just before SAC Anime.
Right.
Oh, the SAC Anime. Oh, that's so good. Oh, SAC Anime. Oh, we must go. We'll traverse the fords and go to SAC Anime.
Traverse the fjords. I love it. All right. Well. Now is the time for pluggables. So, Jen, give everybody your pluggables, please.
I only do distance nerding. Distance nerding is life.
Okay.
I also have a channel called @Frey Girl. You can watch stuff there. I also am on the socials @Frey Comics, @Frey Girl. Mobile games. You see Frey Girl? It's me. Let's do this. Move along.
Boom. Oh, wait, hold on. Where's it at? No, right there.
Move along.
He's never ready for me.
No, never.
Hey, that's me.
Be a maker every Wednesday at 6 p.m.
That's right.
PST Live.
So, DeLongs, please give everybody your pluggables.
So you guys can find us on Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and of course YouTube, where tomorrow we're going on at 6. And what are we doing again?
It is making what you need out of what you have. That yellow box that Phil is very familiar with. I am turning it into a more functional, like con go box. So I'm going to be adding shelves and drawers and pouches and all kinds of stuff like that to it. So.
Very nice. All right. Well, that is essentially it right here for the plugs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support Distance Nerding, the best way to do it is to head over to distancenerding.com. Head up to the top of that page, hit that big blue button that says buy us a taco. You can buy us a taco. Join the taco party. That's right. Join the taco party.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, bitch.
There we go. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
now only if I could hear C3PO plug the show.
Oh man, I have that actually. I have that, but I haven't edited it yet. So yes, I have C3PO plugging the show, and it's great. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, join the taco party. It is the best way to support us. If you want to support us, it makes it so that we can do more shows, we can do more events, makes it so we can get better prizes for everybody to win at all these shows. Now, speaking of prizes and all the other fun things that are going on, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to 500. We are not too far away. Sandra, what'd you say we were at? We're at 464.
Yeah.
All right. So that means we gained 3 just since the show started. Yeah, we're at 464 subscribers on YouTube. Guys, once we hit 500 subscribers, I'm giving away Lego kits. I already have 3. I have 3 Lego kits that I'm getting ready to give away. 2 of them are exclusive kits from Lego. One of them is a random kit, but I mean, I'm going to be getting a couple more big kits. I'm giving away a bunch of kits once we hit 500. It's happening. Because I want to buy your love. It's what I'm here to do, guys. Okay. I'm here.
You never want to buy my love, and that's okay because I give my love to you for free.
I was going to say you give me your love for free, and also because I'm a terrible person. I'm the villain.
Ooh, you suck.
There we go. The entire audience agrees that I'm fucking terrible.
I just love that you went, I'm the villain. Like you said it in the least villainy way. The villain.
Wow, hiding real pain.
Although if you had done it in the meow voice, I think it would have been even less villainy.
Oh yeah, no, probably.
I am the villain.
See, you did it. You said it like, oh, I'm going to the store. You're like, and I'm the villain. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
going to the store.
I'm the villain. I'm sorry. I'm the villain. I'm just a terrible person.
You know who doesn't have to say they're the villain? Clancy Brown. Because everybody knows.
Not always though, because Mr. Krabs isn't the villain. I mean, I guess he kind of is in a way, just because he's a cheapskate. But I mean,
Yeah, he's just money hungry.
yeah, I like money.
You know, I'd like to see him voice the Orange Lantern, Larfleeze. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be kind of cool to see Clancy Brown as Larfleeze. I'm
That'd be amazing.
I'm of the world that Clancy Brown is the definitive Lex Luthor, though. So
Yeah, I get
he's
it.
my favorite version of Lex. Of all the Lex Luthors out there, he is my favorite version of Lex, even over this new version of Lex, which was fucking great. But Clancy Brown is my favorite Lex Luthor of all time.
I like him better as the Venture Brothers stepfather to Dr. Orpheus's daughter.
No.
I can't remember her name. But he's a villain. And then he's married to Dr. Orpheus's ex-wife. I can't remember his name. And he has a horse. It's like the Red Devil or Red Shadow. I can't remember. Anyway, you know what? I'll do this all night. Let's keep moving on.
Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on and connect with us on all of the social media places on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's never going to be X, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, Discord, Blue Sky, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. It's only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and Mandels the beard. John has his glasses, judging you for not subscribing to us on YouTube already, and everything.
You guys are going on.
What?
He's in the chat saying that you guys are going on a crazy tangent.
Yeah, and everything.
That was a while ago.
Everything she do for money, which is mostly just be
Afraid of this voice. She do. What are we gonna do with you, buddy?
Red Death. That's who Clancy Brown plays.
Red Death. Yeah, that sounds about right. She do. I only use this voice because it pisses you off. I know you're listening to the show right now, and you're like, why? Why?
So that is where we're going to leave that be there. Of course, if you would like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us completely and spit us out at the feet of every person that I pissed off tonight who is in favor of all the studio heads. Spit us out just right at their feet.
Patooey.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Because eat the rich. All right, we're gonna continue on here. Go ahead, take this line.
Thanks, and keep nerding together.
That's right, Bruce, buddy. We love you, but bye, Salon.
Bruce, you were supposed to be asleep like 19 minutes ago. So, duerme, Bruce.
Duérmate.
Duérmate.
Váyase a dormir, okay? Or how my dad used to say, ya la hora para echarse. Echarse.
That's funny. Okay.
That's my dad. Like at the end of the night, we would just like walk around the house. Váyase a echarse. Take your ass to bed. Go to sleep.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you on Thursday for games. And
I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, tomorrow. Go to DeLong Fam Cosplay tomorrow.
That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see everybody later. Again, thanks and keep nerding together. We love you all. Have a good night.
Distance nerding.
Damn it.
Distance nerding.